Third Annual Year in Review. Posted January 9th, 2022. After initially penning pretty much a novel just as introduction, I decided to pour my glass half full and save the belly-aching opening for a future essay of its own. I'll instead focus on this summarized recounting of another year's worth of life-changing blatherings. I encourage you to link to each article for a closer look. Audio versions available within. I also encourage you to check out the new Beyond Strength merchandise store. 6-Foot Cup. I grieve for what our country has become. No longer a shining example of democracy to the world, we have lost a common sense of dignity and respect. Peaceful protests are one thing, but antagonism has led to months of destructive civil unrest, disobedience, death, and millions in damages. The U.S. is supposed to be the world's democratic leader. Now we look like a dysfunctional junior high school. Our political leaders and elected officials have cast aside statesmanship, diplomacy, and decorum in favor of hissy fits and name-calling. Taking credit or blaming others for something clearly beyond anyone's complete understanding takes precedence over doing the right thing. This article was equal parts venting and encouragement. It ultimately suggested the socially distanced coffee meetup to battle social isolation ongoing at the time. There's nothing quite like sitting down with a friend. Self-care, buddy check, confessional, solving world problems, venting. Whatever the reason, it's good and necessary. I love my time alone, but I need people too. Bonus when it's without agenda or drama or judgment or problems that need solved. God is in control. We are not God. Be wary of those who think they are. Least bad option. This article is largely about attitude, motivation, and inspiration. A quote from Pirates of the Caribbean character Captain Jack Sparrow summarizes, "The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem." I met Greg, an amputee, at the gym while vacationing in Mexico. The least bad option had to do with his decision to have his damaged lower leg removed after failed attempts to salvage it. What impressed me most about Greg, humility and a positive attitude, relates well to Sparrow's quote and everyday life. I've always believed there's no sense feeling sorry for yourself. You just gotta pick yourself up by the bootstraps and keep going. Greg. Walls and window dressings. This one dove deep and is difficult to summarize. It's about being real, not hiding behind a curtain of double standards or camouflaging your duplicity. Quote, "Never value anything as profitable to yourself, which shall compel you to break your promise, to lose your self-respect, to hate any man, to suspect, to curse, to behave hypocritically, to desire anything which needs walls and curtains." Marcus Aurelius. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible, but not everything is constructive. 1 Corinthians 10:23. Moral relativism isn't the answer. Be wary of leaders blind or unconcerned to the impact of their actions. Paradoxical conflictions. This is another one that ran deep and isn't served well in summary. In short, paradoxical refers to something with two meanings that don't make sense together, or a contrary opinion. The subtitle of this blog, Finding Strength and Weakness, is an example. Conflict generally refers to a fight or strong disagreement. Combined, this article attempts to resolve inner conflict and related paradoxes I feel as a man of faith, usually surrounding interpretations of biblical commandments versus personal convictions. Making matters worse, it isn't uncommon for so-called pillars of the church to be most rigid in their convictions, and the first to confuse them for commandments. You may just need to go read this one. Memorial Day, lest we forget. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Shakespeare, Henry V, Act 4, Scene 3. Remember the fallen. Memorial Day and every day. Do you like me? Yes, no. Today's success is often measured in followers, likes, and comments. I haven't cracked that code, so I can't help doubting myself or the value of Beyond Strength at times. I want what I do to be relevant and useful. I want to make a difference. It would be nice to be liked. But as much as I yearn for affirmation, my worth doesn't come from what I do or how many likes I get. And yours doesn't either. Our worth comes from God. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I found myself wondering if this romper room dance was really a fun way to teach basic anatomy to children or just a song about getting old. Adulting can be depressing and overwhelming, but we can learn a lot from what we did as kids. Use this as a motivator to do things to improve your physical, spiritual, emotional, psychological, and social well-being, even if it means running through the motions of head, shoulders, knees, and toes a couple of times. Remembering 9/11. Last year marked the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. Never forget. Slow down. Quote, just slow down. Trust me. It'll still get done. You'll still get there. Unquote. Bruce. Slow down, take it easy, and give this one a read. Finishing well. With retirement rapidly approaching, I want to finish well. My good friend and fellow short-timer said, we only end on a low note if we allow it. Finishing well means setting aside grievances, knowing what I can and cannot control, and adjusting my attitude accordingly. Attitude and actions are completely within our control. Keep doing great things. Get strong, be strong, stay strong.